Hello and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Randesha, or Randy for short, and I make budgeting, planning, and organization videos. If that interests you, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more of my videos. Okay, so in this video, we are resetting our weekly budget. So I am going to go ahead and make sure that everything from this previous week was paid. So we'll go ahead and do that, and all that is checked off, which means it is paid. So we're going to go ahead and start the budgeting process for the 7th through the 13th. So week one's paycheck, because everything from the 1st to the 6th was covered in our rollover. But first, what I want to do is make sure that we zero out the account so that what's left in our account is basically this paycheck. So any money that was in the account before this paycheck hit, I want to roll over to our sinking funds. It looks like we did have some money left over from our rollover, because what I started to do is add an extra $100 in our rollover just to act as a buffer. Previously, what I did was just calculate how much money we needed to cover all of the expenses that hit the first couple of days before we got paid that month. And I only transferred that exact amount. But luckily, I did do the buffer so to catch any unplanned expenses. So it shouldn't be that much, because typically we know not to really buy anything unplanned. So we're typically good about the first days of the month. But it looks like we had some money left over. So we had $88.23 out of our $100 buffer, which is pretty good. If you watch my budget videos, then you guys know that I'm starting to track the amount of money that's left over from our paychecks. I'm starting to track how much we actually put into our sinking funds versus how much I calculated when I set up that week's budget, how much was remaining. So the difference shows me that there's not going to be an amount, because I just started this process. So this first week, I wasn't expecting anything to be left over from our rollover. So just mentally, there's nothing to compare from the number on this side. I just have it blocked. This paper doesn't belong here, this sticky note. So there's nothing to compare, because this money is rollover money. So, but I know that I put aside $100. So $88.23 left over from $100. I think that's pretty good. So probably we bought food or something that we didn't plan for. So I put that there. And then next, what we're going to do is I'm going to pay us first, which means that any amount over the amount that I set to budget. So say I set $1,000 to budget with for this paycheck to cover all the expenses that came out from the 7th to the 13th. What I'm going to do is anything over that $1,000, I'm going to automatically transfer that to our sinking funds. So that way I'm paying us first before I pay any bills. So I am going to go ahead and transfer that amount. Okay, so now that we've made sure that all of our bills from the previous week are paid, that we zeroed out the account by transferring any remaining funds that was in there before this paycheck hit, and we paid ourselves first, I'm going to go ahead and dig into the this actual paycheck so that we received on the 7th. I'm going to transfer funds for gas, childcare, groceries, and diapers. So each one of those have their own checking or savings account. Depends on what it is. It may be a checking or savings account. So I'm gonna go ahead and transfer each one of these. So for gas, we do $90. For childcare, we do $320. For groceries, we do $100. For diapers, we do $55. And then I have this Costco CC, which is my Costco credit card. And I make sure that that is paid off, like that balance is paid off. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so went ahead and did the Costco credit card. My husband gets $20 a week for breakfast. So I'm going to tell him to transfer that. And once he does, I'll check that off. And then I'm going to check our account. Let's see. Apple Music. Apple Music has come out. My school loans hasn't. My bridal shower, I need to transfer $50 to our planned expenses. So that. And then the Norton desktop security. I'm going to tell my husband to transfer that amount. It's $119.99 to pay off his credit card. And then once he does that, I'm going to cross that off. Our Amazon credit card, we owe $106.68. So I'm going to go ahead and pay that balance off. Okay, so that's done. And then these are all our fund money. So each one of us have our own fund money account. So me and my husband, we have a Chime card as our fund money. That's what we use because we want to separate our main bill paying account from each of our fund money. So I thought a separate account would be best because we don't have to keep up with like what's house money, what's our money, and things like that. So I'll tell my husband to transfer his fund money. I'll go ahead and transfer mine. So that's done. And then I need to transfer my son's. Okay, so I went ahead and transferred my son's. And then my husband needs to get an oil change. So I'm going to tell him to transfer $100 to, I'm sorry. I'm going to transfer $100 to our planned expenses account because I did plan for this. So I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so that is done. And then this checking fee comes out for our Sapphire checking, which is with Chase, which I will gladly pay in order to have this system. So someone did suggest that I use a savings account for this process, but like Amex or the Capital One 360 account. But the thing is, we use those for our emergency funds. Well, our larger emergency fund that's at an online savings bank or an online bank and a high yield savings account. So that's what we use that for, because the only reason why I don't use something like Capital One or something where I could easily avoid this $25 fee is because online banks, I've noticed when you transfer money, depending on the bank, it could take some time. So I was told that Capital One 360 takes about a day. The bank that we use takes 2 days. But in order to transfer the money from that account to the account, whatever account I want to pay out of. So that is the only reason why I don't like those type of accounts for this system. Like I like to use the Chase Sapphire account because our transfers are instantaneous. It is a regular checking account. It's just that we incur this fee because the daily cash balance that you need in order to waive this is pretty high. I think it's like, I don't know, like 1,500. I don't know. The link is down in the description if you want to check it out. But that's the only reason why we incur this $25 fee. But I look at it as eventually one day we will have the amount necessary to just sit in that account to cover that balance, depending on how high it is. If it's like more than $2,000 or something like that, then no. But because I believe that your money should be working for you, there should not be any like high amount sitting in a bank account not earning interest. So that's just my personal belief. If you do that, then that's you. But I want my money to work for us and I want it to gain as much interest as possible. So that's why I use a checking account for this. And then I use an online savings account for our emergency fund because we also have a debit card to our high yield savings account, like our emergency fund. So we can access those funds immediately as well. We don't have to worry about a 2-day transfer holding us up to pay for an emergency. So that's why I have this system like this and why I don't use like savings account for this process. I love the Chase Sapphire. So again, if you're interested, the link is down in the description below. Okay, so this checking checking fee is auto paid. So that's going to come out on the 12th. And then the 13th, it has stuff written here, but I ran out of space on the 14th. So this stuff actually goes on the 14th. So this paycheck ends on the 13th, which there's nothing there. So we're done with this week's budget reset. So yeah, so basically my next steps are, as the week goes on, I'm going to make sure these things that are auto paid and not yet checked off, I'm going to make sure they get paid. And when they do, I'm just going to check them off. And then that's pretty much it. And then I'm going to do this same process next week. And then I'll show you guys, I'm thinking to do a weekly reset so that you guys can see how I do my process, not just like the monthly setup and things like that. So also I need to go ahead and look at these. So I don't need to do anything, update this page, because once I set this up, it's done. I don't know if I set this up on my monthly budget, but we are going to have some money left over for February. Initially, I didn't think we were, so I didn't put anything initially in the sinking funds. So I'm hoping to pay off a credit card this month. Not a credit card, I'm sorry. I'm hoping to pay off one of our debts this month. So I want to put $350 aside this month in order to make that extra debt payment towards our snowball. And then I want to save $50 towards our taxes because it is tax season. And I hope you guys are getting your tax documents together. I have a little half sheet that's helping me, like this half sheet is helping me to remember all of the documents that we're expected to receive. And if we don't receive them, then I need to reach out to some people and get those documents because we need all of our coins, honey, for this tax return. So this is the March rollover. Don't need to do anything there. And then right here, I do need to put, because I put some of these items in the planned expenses. So I need to go ahead and check the funded box to let myself know that the money for these items are readily available in our planned expenses account. All I have to do is transfer the money when I go to pay for the items. So I haven't yet transferred my aunt's wedding gift, but I did transfer her bridal shower gift. And then these Valentine's Day pictures, I don't need to put that they were funded or anything like that. They did turn out to be $21.70, but that came out of my son's fund money because anything that has to do with his daycare outside of tuition comes out of his fund money. So, I mean, we're not going to use it for anything else really. So, yeah. And then the $119.99, let's see, did I transfer that? I did not transfer the $119.99, but I'm going to put that, I'm just going to put it in the funded. I'm going to put main. So that lets me know that this is still in our main account and we're going to pay it out of our main account instead of me transferring it to the planned expenses because it's like Saturday morning. It's like 5:30 a.m. on Saturday morning when I'm recording this. So when my husband wakes up, I'm going to tell him to transfer his fund money and pay off his credit card. So there's no need for me to transfer the funds when we're going to pay it off like in a couple hours. So I don't see any point. So I'm going to just put main and then that's going to be it. And then nothing to do on my notes page. So that is it for this weekly budget reset. I hope you enjoyed the video and hit that like button if you did. Hit that subscribe button and click the bell if you want to be notified of my next upload. Share this with anyone that you think will find it helpful or that might just enjoy me, watching me budget. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.